Hello everyone, today I'm going to be filming the Stranger Things book tag. So all of the questions in this tag are inspired by the recently released Netflix series Stranger Things. I absolutely love Stranger Things. So many people seem to love Stranger Things too. If you somehow don't know what Stranger Things is, the best way I can describe it is if Stephen King and Steven Spielberg decided to do a project together, it might be something like Stranger Things. That's the best way I can think of to describe it, but definitely if it sounds like your sort of thing, please go give it a watch. I also want to say that if you haven't seen Stranger Things, but you plan to, please do not watch this video because even the questions in this tag are a little bit spoilery for it, and I don't want to be responsible for spoiling that amazing show for any of you who wants to see it. So yes, if you haven't seen Stranger Things but want to, please stop watching this video right now. So the first question is Benny's Burgers, a fictional restaurant that you would like to visit. And for this, I know it's not technically a restaurant, but I have to say Madame Puddifoot's tea room in Hogsmeade, obviously from the Harry Potter series. So this is a tea room that is in Hogsmeade, which is obviously the town that Hogwarts is in, and I know it's not described very favourably in the series because Harry himself doesn't really like it. He thinks it's a little bit tacky and a little bit twee, but it just sounds like my sort of place, definitely. I love tea, I love cake, I love cosy little cafes. I love this fan art that someone made of it that I found online, and it just looks like my perfect little cosy, quirky little tea room that I would absolutely love. If I ever went to Hogsmeade, this would definitely be my favourite place in the world. So yeah. The next question is Hopper, a character with a tragic backstory. And for this, I'm going to say Charlie from The Perks of Being a Wallflower. He has a very, very tragic backstory. It's full of confusion. It's full of darkness, isolation, uncertainty, tragedy. It's all very jumbled up, and you can see why he does have the issues that he has. He's one of my favourite protagonist narrators ever, which I know is a pretty big statement, but I do relate to him so much. Even though my background is totally different to his, I find it really interesting that I can relate to him so much, even though we do have such different backgrounds. I can't say too much about exactly what his background is about for fear of spoiling this book and this story to anyone who hasn't read it, but I would definitely recommend it to anyone who likes YA with some serious issues involved in it. So yeah, really, really amazing, heart-rending book that I recommend to literally anybody. The next question is Mike, Dustin, Lucas and Will, your favourite fictional friendship. And this may come as no surprise to anyone that watches me quite a lot, but I have to say Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. Obviously I am including Ron in this little trio as well, but I think Harry and Hermione's friendship is just that little bit more special because obviously in YA and children's books, and actually in adult books as well, you always assume that two people who are really close friends of opposing genders, there must be some romantic interest on at least one side, if not both. But I honestly think that Harry and Hermione's friendship is completely platonic on all sides. I think that they were never ever going to enter into any kind of romantic arrangement, even though I actually think that Harry is better suited to Hermione than Ron is. Controversial, I know. I don't think that that was ever going to happen, really. I think their friendship is all about true platonic friendship, and it's just beautiful that they can be that way without any romantic feelings getting in the way of that. So yeah, they are definitely my favourite fictional friendship. The next question is Steve and Nancy, a relationship you really don't like. And for this, I have to say Aelin and Rowan from the Throne of Glass series. I really cannot get on board with this relationship at all. It's probably actually the only thing I don't like about this series, particularly in this latest installment. I just hated it so much. There is another character, Kale, that I really wish that she was with instead. Yeah, I can't get on board with it at all. I personally don't find Rowan romantically appealing. I think that he's just very superficially beautiful, but I don't really see a lot else inside. And I actually think that Aelin would feel the same if, you know, this was a reality. I know it's like pretty much as fantasy as you can possibly get, this series. But if they were real people, I think that Aelin would need a little bit more than a pretty face, which is what I think Rowan is. Sorry to any Rowan fans, but I cannot get on board with this relationship at all, and I really, really hate that it is a thing. So yeah. The next question is Nancy, a character who has a big character development. And for this, I have to say Sansa Stark in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. She goes from this shy, meek, timid girl who is very much controlled by people around her. She's very much seen as somebody who is very passive. But she has evolved. I don't want to spoil Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire for anybody, but she evolves into this leader almost. And I have absolutely loved seeing Sansa grow up and become the young woman that she now is. I really started off not liking her, particularly when I just seen the TV show. When I started reading the books, I actually became a little bit of a Sansa fan, which I'd never saw myself being, but I absolutely have loved seeing her grow up, and I cannot wait to see where the future series and the future books takes her. So yeah. The next question is Jonathan and Joyce, a character with unwavering determination. And for this, I have to say Daenerys Targaryen, of course, from the A Song of Ice and Fire series 2. Her determination to get her throne is incredible. Anyone who has seen anything of Game of Thrones or read anything of A Song of Ice and Fire will know who Daenerys is, and you will probably know exactly what she's like. You know that she is going to get what she wants. I think she has the fire heart in her. Obviously, she is a dragon. She's just, I love her. I find her so admirable. I really do. There's so many Daenerys qualities that I wish I had, that I actually strive to have. So yeah, she is probably one of the most determined characters that I've ever read. So yeah. The next question is Lonnie, the worst fictional father. And for this, I have to say Jan Vanek in the Six of Crows duology. So I'm currently reading, I've nearly finished the sequel to Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, and Jan Vanek is a terrible, terrible character, particularly a terrible father to his son, Wylan. And basically, Wylan, for you guys that don't know this duology, Wylan cannot read or write, and because of this, his father has pushed him out of his will. He doesn't want anything to do with him, has had an heir with somebody else, and he just doesn't want to know about him anymore. And it's so terrible. It really is. He's a horrible character, and although I haven't finished Crooked Kingdom yet, I want him to be overthrown and done away with. He makes me so angry, honestly. I can't even tell you. So that was a very, very easy answer for that question. The next question is Bob, a fictional death that you cannot get over. And I'm just going to hold this book up because there are so many answers for this question in this book. I can't. There's so many that I'm not going to say them all, not because of spoilers, but because I can't talk about it, because there are so many deaths in this book that I cannot get over, and I know I never will get over. And you guys know all of the deaths that I'm talking about, so I'm not going to say any more about it. I'm just going to put the book down and go on to the next question, which is the Department of Energy, a corrupt government or corporation? And for this, I have to say the Capitol in the Hunger Games series. Obviously, the Capitol are living the life of luxury, while all of the districts that they are supposedly meant to be governing are living in poverty and squalor. And again, they make me very, very angry. I didn't want this to be a video where I got really kind of passionate and angry and emotional about things, but yeah, they really, really make me angry. And of course, they are the ultimate, I think, corrupt government in YA fiction. So yeah. The next question is Upside Down, a terrifying fictional world. And I know I've mentioned this series quite a few times in this video already, but I'm going to say Westeros. And I actually got this map when I got the box set of the paperbacks. So it's this map of Westeros, and if you can see, See, it's pretty much the same shape as the UK, isn't it? So you've got all of the obviously all of the places that I mentioned in the series. But yeah, it's terrifying. Of course it is. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to be ruling you from one day to the next. And obviously there are people who want to kill you all the time. You are quite likely to suffer a very violent death, probably when you least expect it as well. So yeah, probably the most terrifying fictional world that I can certainly think of. And the last question is based on one of my favourite characters in Stranger Things, and that is, of course, 11, a character with supernatural abilities, your favourite character with supernatural abilities. And guys, it has to be Mr. Sam Winchester, of course. I mean, you guys knew that I would never answer anybody else, right? Sam has supernatural abilities. He has the gift of precognition, because when he was a baby, he was inadvertently fed demon blood. And yeah, it's given him certain abilities. So he has the ability to foresee deaths in his dreams. He later on develops the ability to kill demons with his mind, which is obviously pretty useful in his line of work. But of course he's my favourite character with supernatural abilities. I don't really, nobody else comes close to him in so many ways, in so many aspects. You guys know I am a huge Sam Winchester fan, so yeah. And that is it for the Stranger Things book tag. If you feel like you might want to do it, please feel free to. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.